You're live.
Okay. You get it. Password, but
Well, we're live.
You're
Hello,
live.
everyone. We are live. So welcome. I'm not sure if anybody is on right now, but we hope they are. We hope our Ripple members have come together and for our first virtual social, how things have changed.
how awkward is this?
Right? How things have changed in 4 years, from sipping Prosecco and eating cheese to sitting at a board table. But welcome to the first donation virtual social. We miss you. We hope you all had a great bubble summer, I guess, the summer of 2020.
Yeah, the summer we'll never forget, that's
Right?
for sure.
So anyway, we miss you. We thank you for tuning in. If you're happen to miss it, it will be uploaded somewhere. It will be
Yes.
uploaded on our
Facebook.
YouTube channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
You'll find it.
You'll find it.
We'll share it. We'll share
We'll
it. The
inundate you
joy.
with it,
Yes.
don't you worry. Don't
Yeah,
you worry.
so, thanks for joining us, and we're happy. We hope you've got a bevy. I've got my Starbucks.
I have nothing,
You
I'm
have
on a
nothing.
diet.
That's all right. Always have my Starbucks, so, well, maybe it's a chai tea latte. Who
That's
knows?
right, that's
Anyway,
right.
So,
anyways,
welcome.
we just want to start off, as you can see, I don't know if you can see the sign over in the corner. We are here at the Remax Hallmark Che office, and we have been graciously given this space by the Knowles Woolsey real estate team. Julie Woolsey, who is one of our Ripple members, is also part of the Knowles Woolsey team, and she graciously set up the space, put up the beautiful decorations for us, and enjoying her lovely live edge table that we might actually end up taking when we leave.
Well, we can't carry it. We tried.
It's too heavy.
Very heavy.
But yeah, so we just want to first of all thank them, because if we didn't have members that stepped up and gave us the opportunity to have a facility to do these socials, then it would be difficult. We'd be doing it in my kitchen or Barb's kitchen or something like that. So that's right, or in a parking lot somewhere. So thank you very much. We really, really appreciate your hospitality.
So as you know, we took the June social off. We took a little breath while COVID was happening, and we decided that September we'd be back at it. So we sent out our vote, and it was close. It was a really close vote this time. We had 22 charities nominated. 254 of the members voted,
Which is good.
which is really good. We do have some members that
I'm not a math person, and I don't know what that
I'm not even
percentage
gonna try
is,
the
but
percent, but it's good.
that
It's
was
high.
pretty good.
It's high.
Yes.
So it was a close race right from the beginning between two charities, and right at the end, Fight4Freedom pulled ahead, and so we were very pleased that they're a new charity to us, and we've been doing this for 4 years, and they came onto the radar, so it's very important work that they do. So
And
we're gonna
clearly it was important to our members,
Yeah.
because like everything, our members, the majority vote rules. So
Right, yeah.
if the members speak, that's who the recipient is
And
of
it
the
was a
donation.
substantial amount, so
It
that
was.
was great.
It
Yes.
was, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we just want to chat a little bit about some housekeeping things as far as what we do. So right now, in order to have a charitable organization nominated, they have to be a registered charity. That's how it's been set since the beginning of time in 2016. We have had a number of members approach us in the last year with not-for-profit charitable organizations, but they are not registered charities. So Barb will talk a little bit about the math behind that
I'll do
and
my best.
and the taxable benefit to that. But I will tell you a little bit about the actual organizations themselves. To be a not-for-profit, they still have regulations that they have to abide by. It's not just an organization taking money and being able to spend it however they feel and not having any accountability. So the accountability is still there, just like a registered charity. The difference is they don't have charitable donation receipts. So that's the big thing, and I know that was something when we started, we thought that was something that was important for our members, but based on the number of inquiries we've received, as well as the worthy organizations in our community, we feel that this is something we really do need to take a look at. So that's something that we are going to be putting out to a vote to our members, And there's gonna be two options. We either allow not-for-profits in with our registered charities and they all come together and they can get nominated, or we do not allow them in. It's gonna be cut and dry.
So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the math. Now, I called a friend, I called a tax friend, I'm gonna be honest, and I just said, how does it work with the charitable tax receipts and your tax refund at the end of the year? So they explained to me that up to your first $200, so 2 Ripple donations, you get 20% credit on your tax owing at the end of the year. As soon as you go over the 200, it goes up to 40%. So 300 would be $120, 400 would be $160. So that, if what you did for your donations was just Ripple of Kindness, you would get a credit of $160 for the $400 if they were all registered charities. So the difference it would make would be $40. So if you donated $300 to registered charities and one $100 donation to one that didn't give you a receipt, it would be a $40 difference on your tax.
And that's on tax dollars owing. It's not like they give you.
Yeah.
It's not like they give you the money back. It's the tax.
I'm sure
credit.
most of you know that, but I just thought for those that didn't, we would call a friend.
Well, and like at the end of the year,
out.
many of us, me included,
Yeah.
I just hand my stuff over to my
Yeah,
accountant,
they do.
and they do,
Magic.
the magic
They
of
do
what needs to
magic.
happen and try and have me not have to pay
That's
as
right.
much tax as possible.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think that that's something
To
that
consider.
to consider.
So like we do with everything, it's gonna go out in the next couple weeks in a Survey Monkey, watch your inbox, and majority will rule as
Exactly.
everything. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And Sam, do we have any questions? Just like as you're there, we just want to make sure that we're.
Thanks to Sam White for being our
She's behind the scenes, as
videographer
always.
again. Thank you, Sammy. No questions.
No, but you have a lot of people watching, I would say.
Thank you,
It's my
everyone.
phone
Anybody have a
password.
question for us?
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
No.
Not
That's
yet.
okay.
Show me that again, Sam.
I can't see that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, so that's good. So if we have no questions, we're gonna move along.
Yeah.
We are pleased to welcome Michaela Gray, who is a flashback from my kids' youth, which is amazing, and Caitlin Randising. So Michaela is the Director of Education and Research at Fight4Freedom, and Caitlin is the Director of Aftercare. So welcome to Ripple. I'm sorry we don't have 100 and 200 women here welcoming you, but
They'll be out there
they're
in
out
virtual
there.
land.
They are and it's a great way to get your organization out there. So welcome to Ripple.
And
Thank you so much.
Who's going to be starting? Yourself,
Yes.
Michaela? Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for
you're
having us
welcome.
here this evening. And hi everyone. Thanks for connecting and joining us online. It is honestly such an honor, and I'm very humbled to be here to represent the organization today. In addition to being the Director for Education and Research, I also oversee Simcoe County as the organization's representative for this region of Ontario. So first off, I do really want to thank Barb and Mary Ann for initiating this initiative that really allows community members to express kindness for the greater good of our community. Honestly, the impact that you've collectively made throughout the years to benefit organizations in the city of Barrie has been immeasurable. And your efforts to create a space where women and lots of individuals who are tuning in today can be agents of change and empower our local communities, like honestly, that's just so invaluable. And so I just thank you for your leadership and your commitment really to make this community a better place for everyone. So yeah, you're welcome. Thanks. And thanks for some of you tuning in today nominated us as a charity. So we thank you for those of you who took the time to do that and for your loving support of our work. And I also want to thank as well the RE/MAX Hallmark team and specifically the Knowles Woolsey team for inviting us into their space and for their sponsorship of this time together today. And then, of course, thanks to each of you who are tuning in this evening and to all the members of Ripple of Kindness for believing in our mission to see the end of sex trafficking in Barrie, and also for your generosity to help us support people in our community who are impacted by this horrific crime. So thank you for making a difference and being a part of the Fight for Freedom. We are immeasurably grateful for your support and honestly just so excited to partner with you in this way. Human trafficking is one of the fastest growing crimes in the world. We often think that trafficking is something that's happening in other countries, in other places, but not in our backyard. The sad reality is that it's happening here. My mother's childhood best friend was trafficked for sex trafficking here in Ontario when she was 14 years old. 40 years ago, children were being sexually exploited in Canada, and today the issue is not only ongoing, but it's growing. Children as young as 12 years old are being lured into situations of sexual exploitation. And over 90% of people who are being trafficked in Canada are from within Canada's borders. And did you know that according to Statistics Canada, the city of Barrie, where we are right now, has double the national trafficking rate? Boys, girls, and young adults are being lured into situations of exploitation in Simcoe County. It's happening here in our backyard. In March of this year, just a few months ago, 3 people were charged with 53 charges related to trafficking people through an escort service in the east end of Barrie. In June, a hotel manager faced human trafficking related charges in Midland. More recently, a woman who showed indicators of being trafficked for sexual exploitation in a hotel in Aurelia led police to arrest and charge a man with trafficking. And these are just the stories that have made the news in recent months. They only show the tip of the iceberg. Instances of exploitation are happening both online and in person, and most cases go unreported. So I briefly just want to take some time now to just share who we are, who Fight4Freedom is, our vision, how we got started, and some of our focus areas. So Fight4Freedom is a faith-based organization dedicated to seeing the end of sex trafficking and sexual exploitation in Canada and in the world. We exist to be an active voice of justice for individuals impacted by sexual exploitation and to further assist them in finding the necessary support systems that will aid them in their journey to safety, healing, and restoration. We began in 2012 after a young woman came forward and shared her story of exploitation with one of my colleagues. A small group of people supported her and she was able to exit that situation of exploitation. And after this happened, they began to brainstorm ways and meet together to figure out what they could do to make an impact in their communities. Afterwards, that group began to do outreach to individuals impacted by the sex industry, and by the end of that year, they had directly or indirectly worked with 10 survivors. Fight4Freedom received its charitable status in 2016, so we're a relatively young organization from that lens. Our organization has 4 different focus areas. So first is outreach. We actually go into spaces where sexual exploitation is known to occur to make contact and build relationships with individuals. Second is education, so that's a large part of my role. We go into the community through online now, of course, and in person to prevent sex trafficking, as well as we conduct research to disseminate new knowledge around this issue. Third is aftercare, and Caitlin will be speaking a bit about that in a minute, but our aftercare program is in place to support people who are exiting situations of sex trafficking and sexual exploitation. And lastly, a huge part of our organization is partnerships. We partner with organizations, law enforcement, mental health professionals, and community members like each of you to ensure we are offering the best services possible to the individuals that we're journeying with and to help foster collaboration. So thanks to all of you for helping us expand our efforts to support those impacted by exploitation in our community. Honestly, we're just so overjoyed by this partnership opportunity, and we're overwhelmed and humbled by your generosity. So now I'd like to invite Caitlin, and as mentioned, she's our Director of Aftercare, to share with you how the funds you donated are going to be used and the impact it's going to make on our community.
Yes, thank you so much, Michaela. And as Michaela said, it is really an honor to be here. We are so deeply grateful to the members of Ripple of Kindness for your generosity and for putting your faith into our project. And while Fight4Freedom is new to many of you, Ripple of Kindness is very new to me. This is the first time I've heard of it this year, and I am so excited that this kind of initiative exists in the world, and I'm really excited that we get to be a part of it with you, so thank you for that. As Michaela mentioned, my name is Caitlin, and I'm the Director of Aftercare at Fight4Freedom. Our team works alongside survivors of sexual exploitation and sex trafficking across the province to provide them with support that will uplift them and enable them to not only meet their basic needs, but to work towards their goals and towards their dreams so that they can thrive beyond just surviving. Now, as Michaela mentioned, Barrie has double the national human trafficking rate. And this is something that we not only hear in statistics, but we actually are seeing it in our clientele and in our work. Over the last few years, we've had more and more partners and community members reaching out to us, looking for support for those who have experienced trafficking and who have experienced sexual exploitation right here in Simcoe County. And so we work with partners who are dedicated to addressing this issue. And we have team members who work in the region providing supports such as case management, mentorship, and counseling, among others. And it's really through this work with survivors that we know just how impactful this funding is going to be. We know that socioeconomic need is a significant factor into being trafficked, re-trafficked, and it really can be a barrier to even making the decision to exit an exploitative situation. One of the greatest challenges that many who've experienced trafficking face is that of finding employment. And when we talk about finding employment, I'm not just talking about finding any job, but finding a role in which an individual can grow, they can build on their skills, work towards their goals, receive a sustainable income, and receive the flexibility and support that's needed after being through such a traumatic experience. It has been a dream of ours at Fight4Freedom for many years to be able to provide such employment to survivors of trafficking. And we've had so many individuals that we've supported who are searching for employment, and it really can be a challenge, finding something that's a good fit, that works towards your dreams, that will pay your bills and allow you to live comfortably, but will also allow for that flexibility that you might need as you heal from trauma can be a massive challenge. We also know that survivor voices are absolutely crucial to the work that we're doing. Operating through what we call a survivor-informed model is so important in anti-trafficking work, and it's very important to us at Fight4Freedom. It's essential that survivors and their experiences guide our programs and our activities, that they inform our knowledge and how we understand human trafficking, and that their voices, their stories, their experiences, and their knowledge are uplifted for others to hear and for us to listen. And so this award will enable us to continue to uplift survivor voices in new ways and offer employment that is so crucial and yet so difficult to attain. With these funds, we will be hiring a survivor on a 1-year contract to work part-time on survivor-led initiatives in Simcoe County. This individual will be working alongside our team to develop and lead survivor support groups, provide mentorship to other survivors in the community. They'll be helping us to give input and feedback on our current policies and programs to help us develop new policies and programs, and to inform our education initiatives that provide education to children, parents, and community members on this issue so that we can understand it better and prevent it and work towards ending it. We're also going to be working with this individual to ensure that they have a flexible, trauma-informed, safe, and productive work environment where they can develop work skills that are relevant to their goals and their life dreams while also making a substantial impact in their community. Over this next year, we'll be continuing to work with community partners and community members as we grow our support for those who've been impacted by trafficking in our community. And the impact of these funds really will ripple out through the community for years to come. And so I really love the name Ripple of Kindness. I think it's so applicable. We are so deeply grateful to have even been nominated for this award, let alone to have been selected by your incredible initiative. I want to again thank Barb and Marianne. I want to thank every single one of you who are part of Ripple of Kindness. I thank you to those of you who nominated us, and thank you for putting your faith into our organization. As Michaela said, I'd also like to thank the Knowles Woolsey team for allowing us to use their space tonight. It's really awesome to be able to gather, even though we're at a distance. It's nice to have this space to be able to be here and do this together. Thank you for believing in our mission and for your generosity to help those who are being impacted by sex trafficking right here in Simcoe County. It's such an honor to be here with you this evening. Thank you for making a difference and being part of this fight for freedom. We are, as Michaela said, simply overjoyed to be able to partner with you in this way and to be able to affect change one person at a time, making our communities a better place to be for all of us.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies. That was a little emotional at times.
Yeah, I have to say, like we said earlier, like your charity is absolutely new on our radar, but I can't like, I'm in shock, to be honest.
We both,
Like,
so we were writing questions as you were talking, and I see we both have one of the same questions
Yeah.
is, you know, why is Barrie
Why are we
double the national rate? Why?
Right.
Like, do we
Like,
know that? Do we know why?
Do we need to take off our rose-colored glasses, most of us, and just realize what's happening here?
I think there's a number of factors. It makes it quite complex to unpack in a short period of
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
But some of those reasons is quite frankly our geographic location.
Right.
So Barrie is kind of the biggest city, as you will, from the GTA that
Right.
then leads up north into other parts of Ontario. But in addition to that, it is part of the corridor where we know trafficking connects and happens between the 400 and the 401. So part of that is the very location. Also, there's other complexities of our community as it relates to socioeconomic barriers, the correctional facilities and supports when people are exiting, as well as just honestly, there's so many complexities when it
Right,
relates to
right.
this issue, but those would be some of the factors.
The geography
like,
makes
the geography
Yeah,
for
is
sure.
a significant piece of
For
it,
sure,
yeah.
that does make sense because it's, you know, just based on the location and proximity from the city, that makes perfect sense, so. But I agree with what you said, like, I mean, sometimes I feel like
Mind-blowing.
I walk around with rose-colored glasses
Yeah.
on myself, not realizing that that is really such a prevalent problem in our community. So that's crazy.
Because, I mean, cause I know, like, I'm new to Barrie, I moved here in '92, that's pretty
That's-
young, right? To most Barrie people, and you move
Right.
here to raise your family in a safe environment.
Yeah.
And it just honestly blows my mind, to be honest.
I know.
And I know we both wrote down, what else can we do, right?
Well, exactly,
Yeah.
so that's the other thing I was gonna say is, you know, how can members or how can other people in our community reach out and
And get
help
involved.
and get involved with Fight for Freedom?
I love that question. It's my favorite question to answer, honestly, because like any talent that anyone's been given, any workplace that you're a part of, like all of those things can be used collaboratively
Right.
to fight against sex trafficking. So within our organization, we have many opportunities for partnership. So we rely on a lot of volunteers to assist us in our various departments. So folks can volunteer with our organization. We also encourage folks, whether you're maybe a counselor or a therapist or you're a dentist or you have a different type of profession where you could offer
Right.
services pro bono to
Right.
survivors in the community so that we can help continue to expand the wraparound support services that we provide survivors. That's a huge support and help. Of course, financial partnership is always a need, and definitely, we really appreciate it and welcome. We have different events that people can participate at. Also, people can book us for a speaking engagement. We believe that education is a human right, so we don't charge people for the speaking engagements that we do. So you could go online and book it, and we could even like come to your workplace, for example, and do it virtually and do the signs of, you know, how is trafficking happening in our community? What should parents know about online safety, and how do we keep kids safe online?
Yeah, like what are the triggers? What are the keys to look for? How would I know sitting, well, maybe not in a restaurant right now, but how would I know that somebody
Yeah.
needs help? How would any of our members know that? What do we look for? Is
Yeah.
there?
So there are many different indicators,
Yeah.
and also there can be different nuances to what to look out for and how, and if you're a parent, what to look out for your child. So I would really encourage you to book that training session so that we'd be able to share and communicate that information in
Right.
a way that's informative and helpful. But definitely if you're looking for just even resources right now, you're like, I want to learn more, I want to know what to do. There's a free online training program that the government of Ontario funded called helptraffickpersons.org. You can take that online training. You can visit our website. If you go to fightforfreedom.ca/online safety, we have a whole bunch of resources and guidebooks for parents on online safety. And yeah, of course, just connect with us on our page with what kind of information you're looking for, and we'll be sure to provide.
So you also, so you have resources even for people that are not in the sex trafficking area of their life, but they can still look up resources that you have to offer online to be able to help them prevent things from getting to a very terrible situation that could potentially happen if a child is using, you know, something on the internet or logging onto a certain, you know, inappropriate chat room or something like that. And, you know, things that parents could definitely look at to see what triggers to look for, what security features to put in place and so on.
And the prevention side is super key, right? Because again, our mindset is that trafficking is happening in other places, in other countries.
That was my
right?
mindset up
But
until.
Also, someone can be trafficked from within their home. So there's often like these ideas that we get from movies like Taken, thinking about, oh, this is how trafficking happens. When that is some of the cases, but the majority of times it's a trusted friend, it's a romantic partner, and there's luring and manipulation where someone's put into an exploitive situation, and that can happen through direct messages on Instagram or Snapchat. And so someone can be trafficked within their own home, living with their parents, and we've observed that, we've heard stories of that, we've seen that with individuals. So
scary.
That is so scary. Yeah.
And I think that's really why this education, getting to know human trafficking, doing some research, checking out the resources that we have on our website can be so key. Because there's a lot of information in the world out there, and sometimes it can be really overwhelming, sometimes it's not 100% accurate to what's going on in our culture and in our context. And so to be able to do that research, to read the resources that our education team has put together, to have Fight for Freedom come out and speak, whether it be at your workplace, your book club, your church, your other places of faith communities, that is so key. The more we know about trafficking and the more knowledge and information that we have, the more we're actually empowered to be able to step up and do something about it.
Wow, that's amazing. Are there any questions that came in, Sam, that we can?
Yeah, so the first question we have is, how does someone seeking help reach out to your charity for help?
excellent. Caitlin, I will let you take that
Sure.
over as our
Yeah,
director of
absolutely.
aftercare.
There's a few different ways that you can reach out to us. You can visit our website, fight4freedom.ca, and I believe under the aftercare, there's a tab for aftercare, and we do have a referral form that you could fill out, and it comes directly into our email. We also have an email, it's contact@fight4freedom.ca. That comes actually directly to my inbox, so we can connect that way. We are on social media, if that's an easier way for you to reach out. We have people checking our social media very often, so those are probably the easiest ways that you would be able to get in touch with us.
And if someone just that's tuning in now or watches this later, if you are in immediate danger and you're in need of support, if you're in immediate danger, call 911. If you're looking for supports and services, we would encourage you to call the National Canadian Human Trafficking Hotline that's open 24/7, and you can reach them at 1-833-900-1010. So it's 1-833-900-1010, and they will connect you with supports and services and make sure that it's a safe space and time for you to call and connect with us that way. And just about like in regards to the survivors that often come to our care, it's typically through referrals, through partnerships that we've made, whether that's through law enforcement or different organizations or individuals who connect folks with us that way, or also through our on the ground outreach efforts.
So Fight for Freedom is there for the people that are going through it, the survivors. Maybe 10 years down the road, it comes out that something's happened, they can reach out to you as well for support, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We're supporting folks who are kind of on every aspect of the continuum in terms of when they've experienced exploitation.
Right.
We are supporting people who are presently having those experiences and looking to step away. We are supporting people who have very recently stepped away from that kind of situation. And we've actually had people reach out to us who are saying, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was trafficked. And I just now am realizing I need counseling. I'm in a tough spot and I need support. Can you help me? And there's no time limit on our supports. So if you are looking back on your life and you're saying, I think that might have been something that happened to me 20 years ago, we're here for you. If this is something that happened to you last week or you're currently experiencing, we are here for you as well.
Because the services were not, the infrastructure wasn't there 20, 30 years ago.
It wasn't
So
talked about.
It wasn't,
not
everything was,
talked about.
swept under the carpet. So now that there are these resources for people to be able to contact, it's just amazing that you're there. And thank you for providing, the phone numbers and the websites and all of the email addresses as well.
And we'll update our social media pages with all that information for anybody that's missed it and
Absolutely.
go back to it. One more question.
Another question?
Yep. Do you work closely with child advocacy centers in Ontario?
That's a great question. So in regards to our partnerships and working with other communities and charities, so depending on the staff member in the region, so I can just speak to my own experience. So I'm a part of Project Safe Horizons that the Barrie Police leads in conjunction with the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrie, and so a part of that is a representative from the Child Advocacy Center. So we've had meetings to figure out are there ways to collaborate as it relates to education and things like that. So we do work with a variety of partners and agencies. I personally can't speak to our partnerships across the province because we have a number of staff. We have over 20 staff at this time, and we're all in different regions, including we have a staff member in the Philippines who does work primarily there.
Wow.
Now, I noticed I started following your Instagram page, and I noticed there's different walks happening. Are you having that in Barrie, a virtual walk right now, or when does that happen?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
So we are having Walk for Freedom Barrie.
Right.
It's on October 17th.
Okay.
It's from 1 to 3 p.m. And you can find more information at our website, fight4freedom.ca/walkforfreedom. And there's 3 different ways to participate this year. So we can walk together if you register online and you feel comfortable doing so. We'll make sure that social distancing is in place and other health and safety measures. It's outside. But you can also walk on your own. So you can walk the route that we've identified and areas that we'll go through that you can go through on your own time during that same week. Or you can sign up and register and create your own walk if you'd rather just maybe stay at home on the treadmill or
Right.
walk around your neighborhood, whatever you feel comfortable. And so you can find information on our website and then also connect with me both very well.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
So before we do the check presentation,
Yeah.
we just want to touch base with our members just with regards to our December social.
Right.
So we don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think anybody knows what's gonna happen with regards to the December social.
Yeah.
So we're just going to continue to watch and see what the provincial government puts out as far as social gatherings, see how the numbers are with regards to COVID. But it may very well be that we're doing another virtual social. We would rather meet with everybody, so if there's anybody out there that has any creative ideas or ways that a
To get
bunch of
together.
women could get together safely, we would
And
certainly.
legally.
And legally, yeah, we certainly don't wanna make the news for anything
Yeah,
in a
no,
negative
no,
way.
yes.
We definitely wanna do things, properly, so, if there is anything that, you can think of that would be a great idea, please reach out to us. You know how to contact us either by our email address, or you can do, a messaging on, Facebook,
Instagram.
or Instagram.
Yeah.
So then that way we can at least start to work on something from there.
And just a little reminder to any of our members who haven't managed to pay yet, it's quite easy, just check
Mhm.
your inbox, all the information is there. I think you're taking checks, no e-transfers yet, but there's check.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
e-transfer.
e-transfers, check, and online donations, yeah.
That's
So
right.
that would be great
So-
if we could get that cleared up, probably by mid-September would be wonderful.
Yeah,
'cause
that
then
would be great.
this $27,000 would be in their bank account, which
That's
is a
right.
beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll stand up and do the formal presentation with
Okay,
the check, I
ready to
guess.
do that.
And,
So would it be given the frame, Sam?
yeah.
No.
Just stay there, pass it, I'll move it.
Okay. Oh, we have it
Would
taped.
you like us to stand just there?
Sure. Here we go, ladies. So there you go. There's your $27,000 check.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Okay, so normally
Thank you.
we'd have pictures taken and all the rest of it.
Yes.
So we'll take a picture afterwards.
Yes.
But at least we can show this to our members and say, good night.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Hope to see you soon. Okay, take
Thanks so
care.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.